heart and sword, always for Demacia.
Seems you left your brave pants at home. You want me to wait while you go get them? Don't be a scaredy cat!
The fun begins.
How's it going, Scuffed League? This is Mikey Poo, and over here I have my co-caster, Drew Big Dopa, and I'm really excited for today's full day of League. How about you, Drew?
I am ready. I am so ready to go into this game. It's gonna be one hell of a time, to say the least.
Yeah, and to expand on that, I saw these two. I actually casted these two teams specifically the other day when they scrimmed, and it's going to be a good one. Now, Virginia won that scrim, but I don't think it's going to go down exactly like that this time. I know that Maine kind of got beaten in the draft. I don't think they'll make the same mistakes this time.
So if you think it's gonna be based on draft, what do you think you're gonna see this time around compared to last time?
Well, so when Maine played Virginia the other day, Maine drafted completely around the Jinx. What they did was they picked a Jinx, they picked an Ivern jungle, they picked a Thresh support, they picked a Zillion mid, which was also for the Jinx, and then a Maokai for Peel. They put all their eggs in one basket. All they wanted to do was protect the Jinx, and when the Jinx got assassinated because Virginia had infinite engage with a Singed, a Olaf, a Kiana,
Oh yeah.
after Jinx was dead, their whole entire team comp fell apart. And granted, they kept Jinx alive for as long as they could, but I'm gonna hopefully see them pick a new strategy for the draft. They had no damage besides Jinx. Nobody was laying out damage. Maokai doesn't do damage. Ivern doesn't do damage. It's just I hope I see something different coming out from them.
Yeah, no. Looking at some of the players' match histories, I have seen more Orianna focused games with the mid laner. So I'm thinking like maybe we might see a ball deliveries in them with an hard engaged jungler, just a tank top lane like Maokai. I think we'll see something more along those lines where they're gonna try and get these same teams that they've been doing practice with. Whereas
Yeah.
like we've seen a Maokai, we've seen a Warwick, we've seen a Thresh, we've seen an Orianna, and then we've seen just kind of fill on the ADC. So we'll take a look at that when it comes to the draft.
Yeah.
And we'll just have to see, will Virginia take advantage of these bans?
And I do want to say for the viewers right now that the names are mixed up. The one on bottom's actually Mikey Poo, the one on top's Andrew, but not a big deal.
Yeah, it's getting fixed as we speak.
Oh, perfect. We are
Yeah.
Scuffed League for a reason. Actually, it wouldn't even be Scuffed League if stuff like this didn't happen. We shouldn't even
Yeah.
be wearing we shouldn't even be dressed up right now.
Taking off. You said it.
Loosen the tie.
Sorry. I
No,
don't
but
like that. I don't like that.
yeah, I see. I have their op.ggs pulled up. I've seen these guys play. I'm gonna hope to see big things out of the top lane matchup. I think will be the most volatile, but you never know. It could be a wet noodle fight as well.
We have seen
I'm
sorry. Go ahead.
well. I was just gonna say Wheezy seems to always want to invade. It's too early to make a prediction on this game. I
Yeah.
think
We'll
that
have to-
Virginia won pretty convincingly last time. I think they'll take it this time if I were to make a prediction, but that's no disrespect to the main roster. They had some very good plays as well.
Yeah, no. I do I do agree that like it's really early to like fully say, oh, this is definitely what we're gonna see. We're gonna see this. We're gonna see this when we haven't even started the draft. But um, do you think? I just have one question.
Yeah, go
Do you
for it.
think that Firebeard's Varus is gonna get banned.
Yes, 100%. It is his biggest one trick. He plays AP Varus, and I'm glad you brought that up because I really did want to talk about that. But it does a lot of damage. Don't get me wrong. We saw it in scrims. It popped people. I've never seen AP Varus before in my life. I'm not gonna lie. That scrim I watched with Virginia was the first time I've ever seen it, and it will get banned simply because because that's his one trick. You know, one tricks get banned. Whether it's a good one trick or not, it's typically gonna get banned.
Yeah, that's why I don't like playing in the tournaments because I'm a Tark one trick, and that just gets banned immediately.
Yeah, I heard about your Tarek jungle. Was that you?
I don't think that was me.
Oh,
I wanted to play Tark jungle for the longest time. All right,
perfect.
I wanted to play Tark jungle for the longest time, but it never worked out for me.
It never worked out. Now the new ban was very expected. That is the highest played champ on this Virginia's jungle, champ pool.
It does also see a Vagar ban.
Knife School doesn't have much on his op.gg. We were going to talk about that as well. He's on a level 11 account. Obviously not his first account, not his main account from what we gathered,
It's level 12. Thank you.
12. Oh, I apologize. But yes, it does look like he plays a good amount of Vagar. So nothing surprising there. And there comes the Varus as we talked about earlier, Drew.
And there's also the Warwick ban. We did see both one tricks get banned out from this league. Bliquer has played a lot of Warwick in past games. And we do also see the Orianna being banned out against Knife School.
Yeah, well, Knife School's champ pool is pretty small. He only has a couple more champs to pick from. I think that was a decent idea to squeeze his champ pool. However,
I don't know about the Vigar pick.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Zahar.
I think this was a small mistake coming through from the Virginia team, although I don't know what team comp they're doing, so maybe I'm putting the cart before the horse here, but Malzahar is played quite a bit by the mid laner of Maine, and they make very good plays. That's going to have to be some early anti-suppression coming out. Virginia.
Yeah, no. Malzahar is just such a great pick when it comes to teams, especially just like after level 6, you're able to just cancel out anyone from a team fight. ADC is doing too much damage? No. And supports doing Leona things? No.
Oh, I do like to see the Ahri pick here. Ahri just got a buff, and actually she just got 2 buffs in a row from what I remember. I think she's a very viable mid laner.
Yeah, no, she's been doing really good, but the only problem is, can they land their charms? That is like, because most of her damage comes from landing her charms and just unloading everything once that charm is landed. So I think Knife School will have to play pretty safe into this, knowing that Ahri is going to be that first pick. Or just like, not first pick, but charms. Be careful of charms.
Yes.
The only thing is that they picked Ahri into Keegan. Okay. What?
I am so sorry. Some technical difficulties. That was completely my fault. This is Scuff League after all. It wouldn't be Scuff League without some technical difficulties. Am I right?
You're absolutely right. I just take a look at my left monitor and I see that my face is split across 2 different things, just like cut in half.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, because
that is hilarious. Maybe I did that on purpose just to see what would happen on Twitch.
maybe.
Looks like we do have the Kled coming out now. I will remind everyone who watched the scrim the other day, Singed and Kled was the top lane matchup, and I am so sorry. I believe it was Singed against Maokai, but Singed won that matchup very heavily, and I'm excited to see Wheezy play the Singed again. We were hesitant to compliment the Singed pick in pick and ban until we saw it in the game. It did quite a bit of work.
Yeah, no, I'll have to see how Singe works. I haven't seen it myself yet, so just a Singe will probably probably put in some work from what I'm hearing from you. It does look like
Yeah.
it'll be Singed versus Cloud in the top lane. Then we got Volber picked up for the jungler for Maine. And then we got Ashe picked up for the ADC in Virginia. And started just banning out some of the bot lane picks. And then also Olaf.
I am very glad that Maine banned the Olaf. Olaf was a terror against them the other day. The Virginia jungler, which would be jungler today, is
Gleevec. I do.
Gleevec. Yes, I do believe it is Gleevec. I think he plays a lot of Olaf anyway, but I do need to check his champ pool. Nunu is his top played champ here, and they did ban the Nunu, so that is good.
Yeah.
They're gonna go with the Rammus jungle. I like that pick a lot, actually.
If they were predicting the Jinx, I would have definitely supported that pick. But I wasn't too excited about it because typically they like to go Rammus pick when they have a lot more AD focus, and then they got the only AD you see is Kled, and now you got Jinx and Kled has a lot of damage coming off from his abilities, and his attacks do % health damage with some weird thing I can't remember off the top of my head. Kled is a weird champion.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I think Maine sort of made a mistake here because from the scrim yesterday or the other day, it was Acid playing the Olaf, and I think they thought Acid was the jungler today. He is in fact not. There's not a lot of Olaf play on the Virginia jungler today, so I think that was actually a mistake coming in from the earlier scrim.
Perhaps, but taking a look at Gleevec's OP.GG, we do still see some Nunu being played. And Olaf also is up there. But his most comfortable is Nunu. So that's what I do believe that the Nunu ban was appropriate, and then Olaf just because they had tremors of what happened last time.
Hey, fair enough. Let's break down these team comps. What do you think, Drew? Which team do you think got the slight edge in the pick and ban phase?
Honestly, I like Maine's comp a lot more than Virginia. Because imagine a Volibear that is the size of the lane, running at you at Mach speed, and you're sitting there frozen due to Bard.
You already had me at Volibear. I was already afraid there. But yeah, they have a lot of lockdown potential. Now, in my mind, Virginia looked like the far superior team during scrims, but I think you might be right as far as just the pick and ban. It's going to be hard to gank a lot of these lanes, really. I mean, you have...
Yeah.
It depends on if the
Singed-
Malzahar shield's up or not. But
I just have to see how the Singed plays, because Singed is such a precise champion on how you have to play him, and you have to be very dangerous with Singed. And then you just got okay, I need to focus. If he's in your top side jungle, he'll be on the left side of the map on Volibear's side jungle. If Volibear's up there, he could just run up there and you can take down Singed.
Yeah.
But you just have to be super safe with him, but at the same time do dangerous things. So I just have to see how he plays, because each Singed so far I've run into is different. So just have to run in to see what Wheezy is up to.
yeah, precisely. And I will say, Drew, I think Jinx is making a huge mistake if she doesn't take cleanse this game. We have the Leona lockdown, everyone knows about that. We have the Rammus taunt, we have the Ashe arrow, we have the Ahri charm. If you're not taking cleanse as an ADC here, it's almost an instant death. Bard might even want to consider a Mikhail's in this game, as much as some bards don't like building that item. It's going to be so much lockdown. Virginia's CC is just unheard of, I think, as far as hard CC, rather.
Yeah, no, we have so much with Ashe, Ahri, Leona. Their bot lane has so much lockdown potential, even before 6. Even when Leona is level 2.
Yeah.
So there's just Bard'll just have to make sure and peel Jinx, keep Jinx alive, and I do predict that she will run cleanse. Hopefully she'll run cleanse.
You would really hope so, but maybe she'll take a combat sum. I guess cleanse would be considered a combat sum in many ways. But
Anything
guess-
can be combat sum if you're brave enough.
yeah, precisely. Yeah, that's true. There is a bit of a delay here. I am excited to see how they use that Malzahar alt. I don't.
I would just
I
predict.
don't.
I would just either. I think since Malzahar does pretty well into Ari, I would predict that Malzahar would have to be ulting that Ashe at any chance he gets, or ulting either that or Singed. If Singed flips Jinx into the backline, that would be so much trouble. So
That
that's
would
like,
be
because you
a lot
can't
of
cleanse
trouble.
the flip. You can't cleanse the flip.
No,
So I would
you can
predict that the
you can cleanse
Malzahar.
his slow, I think, but that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can cleanse it slow, but like, don't stand as poison. Or oh
Yeah.
no, you mean the no,
The
his AOE
the
one?
oh, can you not cleanse that?
No, because it's staying on the ground.
Oh,
Are you
okay.
gonna?
I
Yeah,
apologize, viewers. Looks like the cleanse won't do anything against the Singe, but I think for the other 4 members of the Virginia team, cleanse would be a very good
cleanse
summoner
would
to
work.
take here.
Cleanse,
Yeah.
cleanse will cleanse like anything but suppressions, and
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
but flip is a suppression, so Malzahar would just have to suppress the singed.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm very excited to see this game. I'm excited to see that top lane matchup. I want to see bot at level 2. Almost right at level 2, I think stuff is going to happen because Virginia has shown they are very aggressive with their comps. The lockdown from Ashe and Leona after level 6, main
So
bot
much.
lane, if they don't get ahead, they might just have to sit under tower for a little bit.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how safe Jinx can be. She does have a shorter auto attack range, and being under tower, Bard's gonna look to roam around the map because that's what Bard does.
Yeah.
So Leona is very much a tower type champion. She can easily just go in there, buffer his distances up, tank the tower shots, and Ashe just making sure Jinx can't get away. So Jinx will just have to play as safe as possible in this. Most likely going to be seeing a call from Jinx. That's what I predict.
Yeah, we have seen that first buy call quite a bit. We've seen it in the pro scene, we've seen it in solo queue. I think it's gaining some traction. The only thing is, it's not quite as strong as a Doran's Blade early, a tiny bit weaker, but if you can play safe at the beginning, it pays off.
Yeah, because it's not about we're going to try and kill. It's about let's funnel gold into you. Let's play for late game. Let Jinx shred people. That's like
Yeah,
the whole thing behind Cole.
yeah, exactly. I with a bard, oh, it's so back and forth with a bard. A bard ult can screw your team over or it can save the whole game. I really want to keep my eyes on this bard because a lot is resting on his shoulders after level
Yeah,
6.
this game is going to be heavily focused on support. So we'll just have to see how this works out. We actually don't see we see movement speed Rammus coming in instead of Aftershock or with Flash taunt. No, he's running full on Ghost with Predator.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
stream can't see that.
this wow, yeah. They have 2 ghosts on their team. We saw the ghost coming in for Singe. That's
Since that's
fairly
obvious.
standard, but yeah, that's fairly obvious. But for the Rammus, that is very, very interesting. What do you think about the keystones, Drew? Do you see anything out of the ordinary here?
The only thing I saw was Volibear press the attack, which is just a bit newer to me. Other than that, everything looks pretty okay. Yeah, everything looks normal.
Yeah, everything looks fairly normal to me too. I know some aggressive Bard players like to take the electrocute. I personally like the Guardian on Bard,
Guardians did so good.
but
It's sad that it got nerfed.
the nerf was a long time coming in my opinion, but it
Yeah,
is
they buffed
sad
it, and
because
well, they buffed it, and then like 2 weeks later. Oh, by the way, we messed up. We were keeping the extra range, but we gotta keep it like a little bit weaker.
the what rank? What weaker?
The Guardian range. What the main thing that Guardian was improved upon was that it
Oh
was like
yes.
increased range.
Yes, that is correct. I remember that. Riot realized they messed up a little bit on that one. It looks like there's no early game shenanigans going on. Sometimes that disappoints me, but I also enjoy it, especially if I'm one of the players. I always like a slow start.
Yeah, no, I always when I'm playing support, I always white and Tribush or I wait in that new well, I guess that's not new. It's almost been a year. The new bush that came in right outside Blue Buff
Oh
with
yeah, yep.
preseason 2019.
I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Favorite bush.
It,
Favorite.
it is a good bush. That was with the addition of the alcoves and everyone's favorite blast cones everywhere.
Yeah. Does look like Kled isn't doing the absolute hottest. Has so far missed 2 of his E's. And like Singe is just gonna be able to stay up there and be able to just deal passive damage. Looks
Yeah,
like
it
we do
does.
see a fight. He's landing, but he's gonna have to back off, realizing he's close to losing Scarl. Singe is gonna try and push for level 2 here to try and take control of that top lane.
And
Meanwhile,
he did get the poison there onto the Ari. Now there's a fight breaking out. I think Singed is going to try for something here. He knows he's level 2. He can try and do something, and the flash does have to come out.
absolutely, that was a necessary thing that had to happen there. It does look like we do see Volibear coming up here. Singe is prone to ganks, but he does pop the ghost. Will he be able to take down the Kled? Does look like they does get Scarl back, and they're able to flash for the first blood coming from the Volibear. Scarl just saved Kled's life. He is not a coward.
and Drew, that Scarl came through clutch. Everyone who's faced a Scarl knows the trouble of trying to kill him when that bar at the bottom's getting just a bit higher, and then you think you have the kill, and that
That
little guy
he
just
was
jumps out of nowhere.
1 HP. That is really sad to coming from Singed, but really nice coming on for Kled. Does look like we see the Leona Zenith Blade coming on, doing a lot of damage to the Bard. Little bit of damage coming back from the Jinx. But now Kled's gonna have to back off here and probably have to teleport back. Volibear is up
Oh,
top lane. He's gonna try and bait.
definitely a bait here. I
There
don't
it
know what
is.
they'll do about it. There
There's a
it is.
flip. Looks like
It's
we'll
gonna
be
be
able to do a
another.
lot of damage, making sure Singed is out of the game for now. Popping
And
the emote to say happy birthday.
and Drew, this is a 180 from the scrim the other day between Maine and Virginia. Virginia dominated that scrim, and now I don't know what happened. I actually think that the drafting phase was just that much better. Also, the junglers being much more proactive.
Yeah, no, we have not seen Rammus gank Elenia, and the issue is with that they're also equal on farm, which
Yeah,
Volibear's 2 kills ahead, and that's the difference there.
and to be fair, it's 4 minutes in. We can't be. The Rammus
J-
is ganking bot lane.
He does appear he tried to go down there,
He,
but they're
he
just too
tried.
far back. He's
Yeah,
trying his
they
best.
he is trying his best. We can't flame a jungler 4 minutes in, but
No,
that being said, we can commend the Volibear.
commend of Volibear, absolutely. And Kled did also a wonderful job of like trying to predict the bag, but the flip does come on, and the honeycomb does trap him inside. He's trying to get Scarl back as much as he can. They're both pretty low. Will Kled be able to get Scarl? Let's see here. He's trying to last hit minions, but minions doesn't do enough for him. They
He's
do
just
have
waiting to get
vision.
that Scarl back.
Kled knows he loses it. Oh, the pocket shot did miss. Singe, this could be
The
opportunity.
Volibear's here. Oh, the ward
Volibear's
has
here,
caught
but
him.
they had a warn. And now Kled has to just CS to get those last ones.
Drew, remember I told you that this top lane would be very volatile. There's probably
Yes.
going to be nonstop action the entire game up there.
I now know what this Singe player is. I'm used to the troll Singe that goes down where Volibear is right now, takes the entire jungle, takes the entire CS, and then goes back up top lane. Rammus did try coming down again, but they're just playing way too safe here. And Jinx
Now,
isn't too behind on farm. I did miscall the Cole, by the way. I just realized that now. There is
oh,
no Cole from the Jinx.
yeah, we see 2 Doran's blades. The Rammus actually mistimed that gank. When you're a Rammus, you want to wait till the minion wave is a little bit farther up. When he was ganking, the
was
bot lane was in the middle of a minion wave. You can't get many knockups doing that.
No, you can't. It's Rammus just gets a bit more complicated when it comes to that. It's just like make sure you do not hit a minion. If you hit minion, you go bye bye.
Yeah, it's very true. He could have gotten maybe 1 or 2 sums out of that bot lane, but instead he was about to run into a minion wave, realized what he did wrong, and there comes the Bard stun.
Yeah, I am also taking another look at this. Just I glance over things every now and then, but Jinx did bring cleanse, so you're right on your prediction, but I was wrong on mine.
Well,
We do
I
see a
I I have seen call, so I understand where you're coming from. I actually take call myself in the ADC role first build. Oh, the ward has spotted them out, so I don't think anything's going to happen bot lane, but they might contest the scuttle unless Rammus has already taken it. No, they're going to
No,
take the
he does not.
scuttle. Oh,
There's some
and the ult
suppression
comes
coming
out.
off from
This
there.
is
The tunnel. Are they going to be able to take this? Barely missing from the Bard, not landing his shot onto the Rammus. They do take the scuttle crab, and with that, I do believe this dragon is theirs because Rammus is now having to go topside.
I thought you were making a pun there. I thought you said bardly missing the bard. Or maybe you did make a
I,
pun.
if I did, it was an accident. If I didn't, I wish I did.
I love it. You love to see it. This Singe gets some alone time up top. That is not good for the Kled, but he will be up there shortly. We know this Singed is behind in lane, so he's gonna enjoy taking a couple of those plates.
Yeah, Kled was bot lane for a long time trying to get that dragon. Did get a pretty big CS lead up there. About, I would say 250 gold, maybe more.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
just
I
chilling up
think
there.
Well, now let's look at the CS differences really quick here, Drew. We have about 10 CS difference up top. The jungle difference is negligible. The mid difference, yeah, same, not very much. And looks
Oh,
like the
Rammus died.
CS is, what
Okay,
was
no,
that?
he smited. I was because Rammus was like 1v1ing the red buff. I thought he was gonna die, but then he smited last second. I got scared.
At some point in this tournament, I do want to see a jungler suicide to camps, but looks like CS is pretty much even in every lane, and that is commending both teams. This game is so much closer. The gold lead is almost nothing.
Kled
Actually,
just going for a
it's
swift
pretty
run.
even.
Yeah, no, and I just want to commend that Jinx because she's been able to, or they as a player, but she as Jinx has been able to do so much just sitting back and able to keep up with the CS numbers, even though like it's just such a high pressure lane for Virginia. Jinx has got this like he's got this under control, even when it's a 1v2 with Bard going up mid lane.
And I do think a little bit of it is because of the cleanse pick. That warding has been decent up top. I know he's died a couple times, but that
Yeah.
ward has saved him a couple times as well. As I was saying, it looks like we have 2 BF swords already for the bot lane. The cleanse might be sort of making the Leona hesitant to go in, knowing that if she goes in, it probably won't result in a kill, but you still need to go in and pop that cleanse as a support, even if you know you're going to take a lot of damage on the way out and get nothing for it. It's still worth it.
Yeah, and I feel like Leona with 3 CC abilities, like Jinx would have to wait for the cleanse onto Leona's ult
Oh,
if they want to do it right. Looks like you do pocket shot over the wall. Volbear is now fighting 1v2. You've had to flash back over the wall, Kled, but now Volbear is huge, but he's not huge enough. Rammus is able to take down the Volbear, and Singe is looking for another kill, trying to take down Kled. Rammus is going to be coming up
they're
here.
going to
He's
dive.
grounded, and he gets flipped, taunted, and that is a free kill for Singe.
Oh, it's a
Leona does go in
non-stop
with the Zenith
action.
Blade, and that's going to be it. Solar Blade. Shoot. I'm trying to
Solar
remember.
eclipse.
Solar.
I actually don't think it's solar eclipse. Oh, this is insane here. I told you those bard stuns
Yeah,
would
no, those
mean
bard stuns are going to be coming in clutch. Firebeard is going to be able to take the cure on Beardman, and you're CC'd forever. I'm sorry, you did not pop the cleanse. Ash does manage to take the kill down onto Crazy Tofu.
now Virginia is just turning this game around. We saw that Maine seemed to have the map under control. Now it looks like the opposite, and there goes the rift over to this Rammus. He's gonna pop it right away, I think.
Yeah, no, he's just gonna pop a top lane. Cled's gonna have to TP there. Singe does has a TP if he needs it, but right now Singe is gonna walk up there while Rift Herald takes it up. So
That is a
I
nice
think,
change they made on the Rift Herald. Oh, go ahead.
so I just think that the main was just from the Volibear, but then like when he was alone in that fight because Cled was just so low HP, Malzahar couldn't get up there as fast as he wanted to, and then the bot lane just like
Oh wow.
that. Oh, I didn't even see what happened. I was
You didn't even have time to announce it. You were just trying to analyze, and then just boom.
boom, something happened.
This Kled might be taking over.
Yeah, no, Cled might be trying to run it back.
Now, to be fair, Singed is still up a bit of CS. He still has 2 kill participation. There's still a chance for him, but that Volibear gave Kled such an early, I'd say ease of mind rather than lead.
Yeah, it gave Cled an easier time in lane, definitely. Like,
Definitely. Stand up for the lane gank here, bot. I love lane ganks, bot lane. They're one of my favorite things. But we'll see how
Malzahar
the
is
Virginia
coming
team.
through.
Oh,
That is
amazing
bar,
bard
Tempered
stun.
Fate coming off. That's
This
gonna
is
be the press
amazing.
onto the Rammus. Zenith Blade popping off. Gonna be able to land it onto the Jinx. Finally lands the cleanse right before the flip. Looks like that we do see the stun popping off. Will Jinx make it out alive? Bear, no, will not be able to make it out alive. Volibear does able to take down the Leona. With the charm coming off, they look like trying to re-engage onto Bliquer. Electrocute takes down the Volibear. Whew.
And that is a 3 for 2 going over to the main roster, and the fight's not over yet. Oh,
It is
or
not.
it is.
Malzahar just had to 1v1. I forget. No, it was a 3 for 3, I think. No, wait.
I believe it was a 3 for 2.
Yeah, 3
with
for
Maine
2.
coming out here.
Main coming out on top. Okay, when you said 3 for
It's
2,
chaos.
I always thought Virginia. Listen, okay, I'm not exactly the brightest bunch.
No, I understand. It was very chaotic. It's hard to keep up with what's going
and
on,
then
especially when everybody's coming down bot. I mean, I had to keep track of what was going on in the river, in the lane, but Kled is getting that sweet time on that turret, the same thing Singed was getting earlier. He
Think
might
this
take
is gonna
first
be
turret here.
Yeah, this might be first turret. See what they
He has to
do
wait till the
here.
next wave, though, I think.
Yeah,
Unless he
he's
uses
gonna
Scarl.
harp
Nope, he's not going to use.
No, he's just gonna have to back off. It's like, I don't think he could have done enough damage either way.
No, I know some people use Scarl to tank turrets like that, but he did not have the damage to
That's
do it.
animal abuse.
That is animal abuse. We all love Scarl. Actually, I hate Scarl when I play against Kled. Oh,
I think he's
and
cute
they're
in
just
a
gonna
weird
take the
kind of way.
right? This game looks, again, it's even. It keeps going back and forth. I don't know who's winning. I literally cannot decide who's winning. Although I will say I do like Maine. Oh,
Oh, that is so unfortunate coming off from the Bard. He just
That's a
got
kill.
3 ults onto him. They do
There's
have
a
a
fight
fight
top.
top lane. Wheezy might be dead. He did pop the ghost. He doesn't have a slow yet though. He does manage to get out alive though. I was really impressed because I didn't know how that interaction worked. I was waiting to see it. But Rammus tried to follow Bard into the tunnel while he was using his roll, but it didn't work because during his roll, it
Oh,
just doesn't work. We do see not the root popping off onto Leona though,
we're gonna turn
missing
this
the zap
around.
gun. Malzahar is going to be taking a lot of damage here. Do manage to silence both of them. Let's see if they turn this around. It looks like Crazy Tofu is going to fall down. Well, Ash does manage to
Oh,
take down the Malzahar, just autoing right from outside tower range. And Volibear's
and
going to have to leap away to safety. Does use his shield. Ari did try to flash that too, and ended up missing her ball. I need to learn the abilities, man. There's a quiz I need to do. Looks like
there's
Bard
probably
is
an
gonna
online
get
quiz, but
tower
it's
dive.
still fighting.
Flashed. Oh, tried to flash away from
That might be a kill for
Firebeard.
the Bard. No.
no. Unfortunately, it's not.
This is interesting that they moved Firebeard to ADC. I usually see him mid lane, but maybe after the Varus was banned, this is the decision they decided to make. Or maybe he was going to be ADC all along. That is the most likely. Uh, Now let's take Drew. Let's take an inventory of the sums burnt because I don't see many flashes up. There's 2 flashes up in the whole game now. The fights across the map are just taking a toll on both teams. The dragon coming up is going to be very interesting because I don't think any
Yeah.
of these sums are going to be up for that.
It is Mountain Soul, and I'm excited to see what Volibear can do with all those Mountain Souls, and then just a huge shield. Like,
Oh,
do you see that Kled is going to be taking quite a bit of damage? Ramus is chasing him, but Volibear is trying to follow up too. Does get taunted, does get flipped. He's permalocked in
this is a
CC.
kill.
Kled's like, I'm not gonna fight. I'm not gonna fight. He stays alive for so long though, and that's a 950. No, my bad. I'm sorry. I read it 900, but then I took a back at the stream and it was 350. I was like,
I bet.
how's he have a 950? What?
Well,
I
I
was
bet
like,
Virginia wished it was 950. But I
yeah,
do, however, think, and I might be wrong, I think if Kled would have roamed down to help a little bit, they could have maybe gotten the Singed kill, but possibly not, because chasing a Singed is always the worst idea.
yeah, and I didn't see if he does not have a slow item yet, so I think they would just take a lot of burn damage, but then Scarl could possibly live through it. But just right now, Volibear didn't have any lifesteal. If he had lifesteal, he was living for so long because the Singed and the Rammus weren't doing enough damage. It just takes a
First
bit.
tower.
Oh, first tower's actually in the top lane, but on the side that we didn't think it would be. Singe is just kind of walking
Exactly.
around. There's Scarl coming in.
Oh no.
What? He's gonna be able to take
Scarl
this
come.
kill. Will he be able to do it?
No.
Unstoppable, by the way. He just used his ult to take down the Singe to make sure he lived out alive. And Bard, I'm sorry, you're gone. Leona does
I
flash over the
can't even
wall.
analyze anything.
The Ash
Oh,
Herald is coming over. Ooh. Herald is gonna pop down. Gonna be able to take that turret down bot, and they're gonna keep on pushing. Rammus is gonna try and look for
this
another ball roll. What is happening?
this is this is non-stop action, Drew. I haven't seen anything like it. I'm trying to analyze the game. I can't even get 2 words in without a fight breaking out across the map. This should be Dragon going over to Virginia if they play their cards right.
Yeah, they do have a lot of vision control in this area. 2 control wards on Dragon. Volibear does have his ult up, and so does Malzahar. So you can't smite when you're like that. But they didn't have any flashes over the wall, and Leona is gonna be able to take that. They do
I,
use a stopwatch. They do manage to take down the dragon, but will they be able to get anything out of it too? Rammus takes down the Jinx. Singe is chasing after Malzahar, just doing circles around him, trying to make him flip over. There's a taunt coming off from the Rammus, and Reese's gonna be able to take down Malzahar. Leona going for a death Xenoblade, but does it? Not Xenoblade. Zenith Blade. I know that one.
hey, close enough. But boy, that fight. Virginia was lucky to get away with that dragon and get away with a couple kills. I think that fight could have easily gone terribly for them. That Bard ult was very good in the back line,
Barlow is
but
very good. He
unfortunately,
just
they
didn't see
just
enough from
couldn't.
the Volibear. I thought he was gonna maybe try and use
Yeah,
his ult over the wall, but that didn't happen, and I was kind of upset.
you do like to see that alt over the wall steal the dragon. That's happened to me before,
Yeah,
definitely.
and like
I
especially when your stopwatch suppressed, they could have done a lot there, but Malzahar couldn't get around because he didn't have his flash up, and it's just. I'm sorry, I'm doing both jobs
now
for you. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. If you want to analyze, you go ahead. I just wanted to point out something. Singe does look like he's going for the Morello's second item. I don't know if I agree with that. I think he should have gotten the Rylai's, but maybe that's just me. There is a bit of healing on the side of the main roster, but I don't know if it was enough healing to give up the
Yeah,
Rylai's
no.
for the second build Morello's.
I would have most supported a Rylai's too, especially with like Cled's main healing comes from getting more than half his health bar from Scarl,
Oh,
but it looks like Jinx is going to be able to get the first kill of the game for her. But Volibear does manage to take down Leona. Singe running in
ooh.
there, takes down the Volibear. Looks like we're gonna have a ball rolling away from the fight, but they're gonna try and chasing this down. They're going after this Ari. Kleb does manage to use his ult onto it. Oh, does not manage to flash over the wall, and Ari is stuck there, surrounded by a Malzahar, a Jinx, and a Bard, and a Kled.
That was a really good comeback fight. Looks like a 4-for-1 to me. I think that that's the best thing that could have happened for Maine at this point of the juncture. Now they're going to get possibly 2 towers. I don't know if they're going to be able to push onto it, but there's no other objectives up. They might just have to take the kills and go back to base and buy, because that you really hate to see a team like that only turn into 1 tower, and the tower was almost down anyway. You kind of wish there was an objective up for them to go after. Baron was
Baron is
yeah,
up, but they couldn't take it. They didn't
it's
have
too
the
risky.
Bear. Way too risky.
Yeah.
That would like be a 50-50. And they might have won that fight because they got a Rammus that's 5-1. I was hoping for the dragon, but that is up in, I'm trying to read it in the bottom, 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Now, this Rammus is 5-1-5, 10 kill participation, the most on his team, although we have 9 kill participation coming out from the top and both bot laners. There's a lot of KP to be found around the map. I think both teams are working very well together. We have a fight breaking out here.
Kled does go in for his hook, does manage to get grounded, but still manages to come close.
Ooh.
Ash Arrow does pop off to the Malzahar right before him, misses a charm. There's a suppression. He's making it out alive. Looks like, will we see Firebeard going down? Jinx does manage to flash to get in range to auto attack the Jinx. We see the Zap gun pulling in the slow. Dodges the Xenoblade, keeping her in place. That's the Leona ult. Popping the cleanse. Redemption coming down. Land onto the Jinx. Volibear is here, and he is loud and proud. Let's see. Will he be able to take down this Zenith Blade? Singe coming in from nowhere. Where did he come from? Take it down, crazy. He just walked in there and said hi.
He popped the ult, he popped the ghost, and he ran to get the assassination. You got to see the assassination chemistry boy just running through. He now has 6 kills, 4 assists. I am interested to see what he's buying next, though. He has a Giant's Belt and a amplifying tome. I
think that's
probably a Dead Man's Plate, and then he's going for the Rylai's after that.
Not Dead Man's Plate, because
or Randuin's, are you thinking? I don't know.
I don't know, because I was thinking maybe Righteous Glory, but I'm pretty sure that Amplifying Tome is just kind of there.
Well,
I think we're gonna see a
Giant's Belt. Unfortunately, I don't think Giant's Belt builds into Righteous Glory, but I don't know. I'm thinking either Dead Man's Plate or Randuin's here, but we're gonna have to see. Leona is walking in.
Oh my god. Another fight breaking out. It looks like suppression coming off from the Malzahar. Big ult coming off from Bliquer. Gonna be able to take down FortressDoor. Jinx is becoming a champion, but gets flipped again by the Cinch and dies again to the 10th flip. And then Volibear is now a small boy. Does manage to pop the shield through the stopwatch. Will he be able to capitalize anything off it? No, Bard is the left one alive. Tries running away. Cinch is gonna try and get the Quadra. He's mad that Rammus stole his Penta. He's going for the Bard. Does manage to flip him over. Seems that Bard is not going to make out of this one. Does hit the Blasco and hitting him back, but that's going to be just a quadra kill for him.
Virginia just took a commanding lead right there. They might try to go for the Baron. They might go for towers. It looks like they will go for towers and the counter jungle. That lead is going to really set a pace for the rest of the game. I'm interested to see how Maine bounces back from that one.
Yeah, and earlier I was just trying to think of what does Giant's Belt and AP have to do together. That's what I was trying to think of earlier, but like it seems that Amplifying Tome is just kind of there for now.
Yeah, because I think he is building the Rylai's.
He is going to build the Rylai's, but next up he picked up the Dead Man's Plate. Just still, I'm surprised. Like, why not just get the Rylai's? But
I agree with you. I think he should have gone the Rylai's. I think he should have gone some mana. I'm surprised he's not going to Righteous Glory or any other mana item there. Righteous Glory we've seen is very strong on Singed. However, he does have Ghost already and his ult, both of which are sort of Righteous Glories in their own way. But the Dead Man's Plate does give you that out of combat movement speed. I I don't know how Maine's going to pop back in this one. I assume that Kled is building towards the Sterix right now, but I guess we'll have to see for that one. They're a few items away from being able to do a team fight. Oh, the charm just misses.
Slightly, whatever, so barely.
I think they need to use Malzahar right now to get some picks, and the Bard as well. And looks like that's what they're trying to do, right as I say it.
Volibear coming from the big ult. Solar does end up missing. Redemption is coming down for Bard does be able to take down Leone. He is chasing down. Jinx does manage to land the rocket right onto the Ari. They take over this fight. Singed is coming in. He wants the Jinx again. He keeps on auto attacking her. Looks like Jinx is gonna have to run away, but Singed is angry. He's running after her, but so is the Rammus running at Mach speed. Do have the tunnel. He's just flipping everyone. Singed is surviving for so long. Kled is currently also fighting and does flip over the wall, but he's still taunted over the wall. Wheezy does manage to get. Wheezy's still alive and he's still in it. He's taking down the Volibear. He's not done. He's still running. Looks like that we do see Bard barely able to take that. Managing the double stun. Jinx does manage to shut down the Singed. They're running after Rammus, but sorry. That is a literal tire wheel.
That was such a mistake. Following after the Bard through that tunnel. That team fight was so chaotic. You saw the Chris Kyle American Sniper rocket coming from Jinx to get a kill on the backside at the beginning of that fight. You saw so much chaos, and it seems as though Maine might have gotten the better of that fight, in my opinion. I think Maine won, but it was a commendable battle on both sides. Several kills, several sums, and several ults blown. I don't know what to make of that fight.
100%. I agree that I'm just like, they're basically trying to funnel all the gold and kills they have into the Jinx. They're again going for that Jinx hard carry. And they're just trying to find everything to do with her.
Which is the strategy they took the other day at Scrims. I'm just surprised that Maine wanted to take that fight. There's no objectives on the map. There's nothing to be done except for Baron, I suppose. They were maybe trying to take the fight to push the Baron if they won the fight, but without Dragon up, I just didn't see a reason to take that fight. However, they did come out ahead, so maybe I'm putting my foot in my mouth here. Oh, a fight's breaking out.
Looks like we do. The flip does actually make Volibear miss. 4-man Bard Tempered Fate coming in. Looks like that we do see Volibear is going to make it out alive, but it looks like Kled's in the middle of 4 people. Malzahar is suppressing down the Wheezy on the Singed, running away. Solar Eclipse is coming down. Shutdown, big shutdown for Volibear onto the Rammus. Singed takes down not only Rammus, or not only Malzahar, but also the Volibear, and he makes it out alive with a triple kill. Oh yeah, he killed Kled.
Oh boy, these fights, it's nonstop. This is such a bloody match, and I'm so glad that this is the first match of our Scuff League preseason tournament. I wouldn't want it any other way. This is just
We're scuffed for a reason because we like bloodbath.
This is not slow and methodical at all. Forget macro, forget all of that. We want to see an ARAM down mid lane, or an NARAM as some of the kids call it on the internet. I just love to see it. I do like the QSS coming from the Jinx. I'll point that out. She has cleanse and QSS. I think she needs them both. I think she needs them both if she's going to survive. This is Mountain Soul.
Yeah, that's Mountain Soul. Just they're able to take all those mountain dragons, and it's just been Mountain Soul for Virginia, and now it's just free basically.
Wheezy is going off. He started out 0-3 or possibly 1-3. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. But now he's 14-7-6. He is a madman. His build just looks insane. He did get the Spirit Visage. I'm still wondering what he's doing with that Amplifying Tome.
It's still just there. That poor Amplifying Tome. It's been there for 2 items, and he's just sitting there.
we are going to assume the Rylai's is coming out, but he's going to be a terror coming up. He's going to be almost unkillable. Love to see it. I love to see this Rammus getting off the ground with his Abyssal Mask, his Thornmail. He is going for the Dead Man's Play right now. They're going to make a play on Baron. This is interesting to say the least.
I wonder. Cloud is TPing in. He's gonna try
Oh,
ulting here.
Wheezy.
Singe is gonna keep him out of the fight. They're chasing after a Singe and Singe going for the Baron. And it looks like that'll be just a free Baron, and they have to give it up because Singe is just applying so much pressure by being Singe.
Yanni, my co-caster the other day, told me that Riot makes shirts that say "Don't chase Singed." They literally have it on shirts, and here comes the Ash Arrow. They're going for a fight.
There looks like Volbear is in the middle of 4 people. He is looking for a really tough time. Bard is just perma-CC'd out of that. Volbear's trying to do as much as he can. Does get a redemption popping down. Gonna try and silence as much as they can. Looks like they do take the kill down to Leona, but Ash took the kill onto Kled. Looks like Malzahar is in a tough spot here. Voldy misses the Q, and now he's just out of that for the night school.
I think that this Mountain Soul is coming through in spades, and this is
Looks like
really
the Ash is-
questionable.
That was what the hell.
Scuffed League, hashtag it if you can, because this is
on.
just that tower dive was very questionable.
Hashtag Scuffed League. All right, put it in Twitch chat.
You put it in Twitch. We're good. We're good. I tell you what, this is really going Virginia's way right now. They're in the base. They can't step up. They have the tanks. They have the front line. What are they going to do? They're not even doing damage to Singed at this point, but the Bardal is going to land.
Tempered Fate is going to be able to land on the Ari and the Rammus. We do see Singe taking quite a bit of damage. Is slow, but he's going to be able to run away. He's out of there.
Volibear
And-
used the Chilling Smite onto Singed, and Singed sped up from it. I don't know if he was popping his ult, but there's no way to slow this man
No,
down.
he didn't pop his ult.
Oh, he didn't pop his ult? Well,
No.
I don't know.
His
He
slow
just looked
resistance
much.
from, I think, his slow resistance from Deadman's Play and also Swifties.
It just, there's no way to chase him. You might as well save your ult in that instance. Boy, this is going to be very difficult to come back if you're on the main roster. But Drew, let's talk about ways that Maine can come back into this game.
So
I do. Oh, you go for it.
Okay,
Oh.
never mind. I thought you were asking me, but it looks like Kled is going to be in a lot of trouble. He can't be disabled. He is running away, but Singe is running just as fast at him. just leaves him away. He popped his ult, trying to chase after him, but then he just gave up at that point. He was like, "Ah, man, he's too fast. I need to be fast."
Yeah, I do want to ask you how you think Maine can come back into this game if they can at all.
So Baron's
Oh.
down. They have soul. They need to kill Singed. How do you kill Singed? Execute. How do you execute? Elder Dragon. I predict that then if they can, they're gonna focus a lot of their attention to Elder Dragon. But it looks like they need to pay more attention to the base. Volbear ult's far away from his team. It's just having a runaway, looking around, looking big. Does is try and get anything onto Leona. Managed to find the stun onto the Singed. Looks like Leona's gonna redemption coming off from the Bard. Suppression coming off onto the Singed. Will they be able to kill the Singed? He's taking a lot of turret shots, but Triumph keeps him alive. Looks like he's gonna be able to still take a kill. Leona is pulled back, not be able to fight. Tower shot. The last tower shot does manage to find his mark. Ash does take also another tower shot, getting executed. Ramus split push Ramus. Let's go. All right.
This is a blood bath to say the least. I can't even say my words right. And this armadillo just down bot taking. I think that the Rammus made the right decision. I know the team was trying to end the game, but I think they should have slowed down a bit, gotten all the inhibs. Rammus made the right call there. There must have been some sort of flawed decision making there. I don't know if everyone was on the same page. They are going to have to back up because this dragon's coming up, and it's coming up fast.
Yeah, this Elder Dragon is coming up in about less than a minute. And they did get all 3 inhibs down. So let's see what I'm pretty sure with the way that been controlling the dragons last fight, it's just been so much easier for Virginia to take those dragons. And I think that Maine got that first dragon, right? Because they did so much against the Rammus early, and they couldn't do anything, and then they backed off. And then they
Yeah.
got a free dragon that way. But then every single other jungle objective was just taken by Rammus. He's gotten 2 heralds, he's gotten 4 dragons, he's gotten a baron. All of those have just gone to Virginia because the team has just applied so much back off our turf. And it looks like they
Yeah.
still have that back off their turf area coming in. They're protecting this Elder Dragon with all they can. Kled and
I
Singe
like
are
this
keeping it in
play.
the base.
I
See what
like
they
this play coming out of the Virginia roster.
looks like we
Oh,
do have
there's
2
a
fights
huge
going on. One in base and one in back in the jungle. Looks like Volibear is going to try focusing after Ash, but it looks like we pop the QSS, try and dodge away. Charm coming off onto the Volibear. And that's just going to be, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure this is just GG
that's
for
game.
Virginia. There's nothing
That
much you can
has to
do.
be game. And
Bard is
Drew,
running.
can I get a
Ash flashes the
Can I get a hallelujah, Drew? Because that amplifying tome finally grew up into a big boy. It's finally a Rylai's,
He's a
and
big
it
boy.
looks like the game is going to end here. It looks like they're going to close it out, and Virginia comes through once
Kled's
again.
trying.
It was a bloodbath. It was a bloodbath, but
He canceled the TP.
oh,
He canceled TP. Kled won.
he gets a consolation prize at the end. Virginia does move on in the bracket, and we're happy to see them do so.
Yes, no, that is very well done for Virginia. That game overall was just that was insane to watch.
Oh, that really was. I didn't have a chance to analyze or do anything. There was a fight every 2 seconds. I loved it though. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. I
I mean,
hope we see.
we talked about the
I hope we
amplifying tome.
that amplifying tome was in his inventory for quite some time. Oh boy, that was a good game.
It's really good to watch.
Let's talk about that game a little bit. I I want to make fun of that build coming in, that second build Morello's on the Singe, but it seemed to work out very well. I can't even make fun of it anymore.
Yeah,
I would
no,
have liked to see the Rylai second, but boy,
I
that
still support the
Rammus.
Riley second. The Rammus really just he did outperform later on. He was stuck earlier as I'm early Rammus jungle, I'm stuck. But then later on he really did perform. He performed really well, taking control of all those later dragons, getting all those barons. He did some pretty good ganks himself too, but most of it was he focuses someone out of the fight and he just sits there tanking auto attacks, and Jinx can't do anything about it.
Yeah, precisely. Now, can the observer pan over to the damage charts here? I want to see what this Singe did, and yes, I there it
There's
is.
a lot
There's
of
the
damage.
Singe.
A
The
lot of
Ash did
damage.
very well. A commendable effort by the Jinx and other members on the main team, but no, it does go to Virginia. We kind of knew with the Leandres that this would happen. I'm very surprised by the Rammus damage. Quite a bit of damage. We all know Rammus
Yeah,
does a
more
lot building full tank.
more damage than Ari.
Yep, and Malzahar on the other team. Yeah.
Wait,
The-
he went. Wait. Oh, can you hover over the bar real quick, observer? Oh, I thought he did more than Kled at first. I was about to go mad. He did 300 damage less than Kled.
Yeah.
All right. So
All right. I think we are moving on to the next game here, I believe. And I'm excited for this next game too. We probably don't get too much time to talk about the last game because the schedule has to move, you know.
yeah,
Oh,
gonna try pulling up OP.GGs real quick.
yeah, you gotta pull those up.
I completely forgot what teams were.
Well, it is
Georgia and
Georgia.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and this is gonna be such a good one. I've seen them both do pretty well. I saw Georgia do well in scrims. Pennsylvania, I have at 5th in my power rankings. The reason I have
Yeah.
them at 5th is simply because of their higher ranks. I strongly think that Pennsylvania has the edge just based on ranks, but you can't count out Georgia. They looked very good in scrims.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we're already here. I'm just taking another look at some of the OP.GGs. I think we might see a Fizz ban against Georgia, and maybe a Lulu and Mundo. There's
You think?
actually a lot of one tricks coming off on Georgia, because looking at this, the top laner plays Mundo, the support plays Lulu, the ADC is like kind of all over the place. We see
Are you saying for
Fizz-
Georgia now?
Yeah, for Georgia.
Okay.
And there's Mundo ban, and next we're gonna see for against Georgia we're gonna see a Fizz, and then probably a Lulu ban or Volley or Vi, one of those.
I'll tell you what I see from the Pennsylvania side. I think we're gonna see a Vel'Koz ban. It seems to be his one trick and his best champ for the mid lane. We might also, for their support, we might see a Sona ban, a Thresh ban. I don't even think you can ban out this support player. He's Diamond 2, and it looks like I should say he or she, sorry everyone out there, very good, very good at all of the support champs they play.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at I'm just taking a look at some of the the OP.GG multis that were provided, and in the past 10 games, you want to know how many Urgot games Conflicks has had?
In the past 10 games, I'm gonna guess 9.
10.
10. Oh, I was off by 1.
And then the reason why we see a Lissandra ban is because Voidhammer also had a lot of Lissandra games, 8 out of 10 in the past 10 games. So those are both like, okay, yes, we see.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing with Voidhammer as Vel'Koz?
I did take a look
Vel'Koz?
at his OP.GG. He does play a lot of Vel'Koz. 105 games played. It is his most played champion. But I was taking a look at recents, or like what was in the multi-search, and I just see a Lux
Sure.
blue. We do also see a Lux being picked up for Kyprus in the mid lane, or that could be for the support Violet Sun Mage. We'll have to see what they do here. And because they did ban out Fizz, I'm gonna guess his Lux in the mid lane.
Now Senna coming in for the support here. Looks like we have over a 3 KDA on the Senna for the support. 62% win rate, very good in high diamond. This Pennsylvania roster, there's a reason I ranked them so high. They have a lot of firepower and very high ranks. Oh, that is a Senna ADC. I gotta put my foot in my mouth on that one.
Yeah, no, I was because Senna support, Senna ADC is getting nerfed, or has gotten nerfed. I don't know, one of those two. But just Senna ADC is so strong, and it is pick or ban in LCS, and that's why they pick and locking Senna's Thresh. Although they hate each other in the lore, they're a pretty good combo together on the Rift.
They are a good combo. I saw that Senna was played quite a bit by the support, so that's what I was wondering if that was happening. But Morgana is also a decent counter to the both of them, so that was a good pickup by Georgia. The Sion, I'd love to see Sion. I'd love to play him. He's such a beefy boy in the late game if he can take off.
Morgana isn't actually Thresh is the quote unquote best. He doesn't do good, but he does better than like Leona and Nautilus, because he can still go to Morgana and then he can still lock him down and then bring his ADC with.
That is true. Yes.
So because they don't stun, but he can still go to them even if there's a black shield on the person that they land a hook on. So it's like,
and that is true. That is true. That is the viability of the Thresh in almost any lane. They're going to pinch out the ADCs for the Georgia side. They got the Caitlyn and the Ashe out of there. This is a very interesting pick and ban phase. They're doing it very fast. I can barely keep up with it.
No, they're doing it insanely fast. They banned out 2 anti-mages in the mid lane.
Both teams came in with a plan.
Yeah. banned out 2 anti-mages, and they really banned out that mid laner. Holy shoot. They banned 4 mid laners against Pennsylvania, and then they banned 2 ADCs against Georgia. So this game,
Pennsylvania.
yeah,
Pennsylvania has a scary roster, but Georgia's nothing to scoff at either. If this game goes late enough, we know those Ornn items. I think each Ornn item has a differential of about maybe 1k. I think each Ornn item's worth an extra 1k gold, but correct me if I'm wrong, Twitch chat. That will be a huge passive coming in late game, and of course we see Vayne coming through, one of the best late game carries.
yeah, no, that's Ornn is just gonna be so much.
Yeah. Oh, we're not seeing the Vayne. I apologize. He wants to keep his distance from that Thresh Senna. Totally understandable. But
something they did ban Caitlyn Ashe against Senna, which is like 2 of Senna's counter picks because they can outrange her early, but Senna outranges Jhin early and then just scales. I hate that she gets more range. That's the dumbest part about it.
I always would think that Senna would outrange Jhin later game, or just because of her passive.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying, that Senna outranges Jhin late game. I maybe messed up English, I don't know.
Or maybe I misheard you. I did want to see the Vayne come out though for Georgia, and the only reason that is because Vayne is a huge counter to Sion. I like the Jhin, don't get me wrong, but I don't know what they're going to do about the Sion late game. They don't have any anti-tank. I don't see any anti-tank on the team, really.
Here's the problem with Sion, is that you can full lethality, I think, is actually going better than full tank.
Do you think that's what's happening?
Because of his passive alone, you can build full lethality and still have over 3k health. Sion builds health, he doesn't build armor. That's a big difference there. And Vayne does true damage, which he shares his natural armor, sure. But I think actually Jhin, with those crits, is actually going to do more than a Vayne would against a Sion.
And that could possibly be true depending on how this Sion builds. We are going to have to see.
We'll just have to see if Sion builds. Pardon me, I'll be right back.
Look, I kind of want to see how this top lane matchup goes in the beginning, because now my face is split up. Ornn does a lot of damage at the beginning, so does Sion, but after they both get an item, that's going to be a wet noodle fight. We're not even going to want to look at that matchup. But the bot lane, I think, is going to be constant action depending on how defensive this Morgana can play. I
am back. Let's see, is my camera working?
Do we have you back, Drew? Good.
Huh?
As long as I can talk to you.
Okay, you can hear me? I'm just gonna be right back.
There we go.
Go here.
Discord is failing us once again, ladies and gentlemen. We all need to email them right now, find them on Twitter, and berate them.
Okay, I saw it loading, but then it wasn't working on there. I don't know what's going on right now. I saw it
Don't worry about it.
I'm here. Okay.
Discord doesn't want one of these teams to win, obviously.
Oh yeah, clearly. They're
actually,
just
the game's going to go on regardless. The game's going to go on regardless of the casters, actually, so I take that back.
Yeah, no, I'm the caster for Georgia, and you're the caster for Pennsylvania.
Depending on how the Sion builds, I don't think either team has much anti-tank. I mean, Syndra could go the Leandres. We could see all sorts of builds come out, but I think Ornn and Sion, depending on how both of them build, are going to be fairly unkillable. This is going to be super interesting to see. I really like the Vi jungle coming out. Several patches ago, she got a buff, and I think she's a lot stronger than she used to be. She used to be sort of a very niche pick, but now I'm seeing her a lot more in solo queue, so I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, the Syndra, unfortunately that she got banned, but she's just still so strong, and like she can land a 4-man stun and then click a button and kill someone.
Very true.
Syndra's just such a strong pick.
Now, Drew, I don't know if you have any, or maybe even the observer has any knowledge on this. What is the interaction with the Jhin ult to the Nocturne ult? If Jhin is ulting to kill a teammate and Nocturne ults to save the teammate by blinding the Jhin so the Jhin doesn't know where to shoot, would that be able to save a teammate theoretically with a
Yes.
Nocturne ult being a counter to the Jhin ult?
Yes. Jhin would not have any vision.
I'm not saying that's how Nocturne would want to use its ult per se, because usually Nocturnes want to be aggressive with their ult, but I'm just trying to think of different I saw the Jhin and the Nocturne and thought, I don't think Jhin has any vision as ult if Nocturne is ulting, but possibly, I don't know.
Yeah, I do. Jin's ult is purely based off vision, so he goes off his teammate's vision. But if he doesn't have that teammate's vision, he doesn't get his ult.
Okay, that might be interesting to see
So like he
later on.
He just randomly fires shots, though. That doesn't change anything.
Yeah,
like,
true.
Oh, I knew they were there. Bang.
Which is what Jhin has to do anyway at some point. They don't have vision, they just randomly fire shots. So, we might see that from time to time. Yeah, I really do think this Ornn and Scion will be unkillable, but I agree with you, Drew. I kind of want to see the Lethality Scion. That's actually what I'm crossing my fingers for. However, I don't think Lethality Scion will do very well into a full tank Ornn, but who knows? Maybe it will.
He's gonna go straight into that Locksword Jhin, like balling in.
Yeah, definitely. Both junglers have a similar style with their ultimates. It's just funny to see. Oh, hi there. My fiance just walked in.
My girlfriend just walked in.
How dare you?
I had to go leave.
But looks like there is a bit of a delay here on the game, so I think that's what we're waiting for here. Yeah.
Yeah, just natural spectator.
But Pennsylvania, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so I gotta go for Pennsylvania here. I'm sorry, everyone. Actually, I can't be biased as a caster, but from the drafting phase, Drew, who do you think the slight edge there?
Based on draft, I would have to go. I would say that Pennsylvania has the edge because just Senna good, Syndra good, Nocturne good, Scion good, Thresh good.
Yeah.
And on good players.
Okay, because not saying that because you won the draft you're going to win the game. I still think that Pennsylvania has the large edge, but I can't count this Georgia roster out. I've seen him come back from I've seen him come back from worse.
Yeah, no, definitely cannot underestimate that, especially with an Ornn being able to scale, like getting that death cap upgraded, getting a Molten Edge, getting a Redemption or Zonia's on the Morgana, then I don't know, Ornn builds on a Vi.
Now let me draw your attention to something else, Drew. What do you like more on Senna? Because there's a huge, a very popular build coming out of the Bruiser Senna, where you see Frozen Mallet, you see Black Cleaver. I talked about this with Yanni the other day. You even see Edge of Night. I actually kind of like the Bruiser build on Senna. It makes her so unkillable. But you also see the Umbral Glaive. You see the Lethality build. Which one do you think we're going to see out of the Senna today?
Probably Black Cleaver. I definitely think we're going to see a Black Cleaver with the Senna.
I hope so. I hope we see Bruiser Senna.
I hate playing
I like
against
Bruiser Senna.
I hate playing against it because it's so... she doesn't die, and then she autos you from Uganda, and what can you do? And then she has a heal. What can you do?
And then from Wakanda. Yeah, Wakanda forever. But here's the problem with Senna. It's not going to do any damage against this Ornn. I mean, then again, Lethality Senna might not do any damage against this Ornn either, but there's no tank buster here. This Syndra is going to have to build a Liandry's. If she doesn't, I don't know what they're going to do against him. He's going to be a menace in the backline.
Yeah, no, and that's like why Black Cleaver is such a strong pick because Black Cleaver will be able to shred Ornn's armor, and then that Ornn is gone from an armor, and then he's gonna be taking more damage from the Vigan, take more damage from just the side. I'm tr- I'm stupid. Hold on.
No,
Nocturne.
it's all right.
I was mixing up the teams. I don't
Oh,
know why.
I've done that. I did that before too earlier in scrims.
We do actually see a glacial augment on this Senna, so we might not be seeing the tank build because typically you go with Grassy Undying and not glacial when you
Yes,
go that build.
you are right. So I think we are, because you build the frozen mallet. You can't really build frozen mallet with glacial unless you just want to waste a ton of money. I think you are correct here. We do see the hail of blades coming out on the Vi. I think that's interesting. I like the. Don't get me wrong. I think it's the right thing to do. Although we have seen aftershock on Vi as well, so it doesn't look like she's going tank Vi. I would expect to see a full damage Vi here. What do you think, Drew?
Yeah, I think like also Vi being able to spread all the armor coming off from that Scion. And I don't think that Scion's also going Lethality. I think he's going tank as well
Um,
because of Grassy Undying.
yes, yeah, exactly. Um, I this is going to be so interesting. I'm just taking a look at the keystones here. We have
Jin didn't buy.
electrocute from Jin's going back to buy. Okay.
He forgot to
Uh,
buy.
I
So
want to
sad.
see some early game shenanigans here, but it looks like there's going to be none. I like the stack and the tribush. That stack is very common against invades. You can usually get a free kill if the other team's invading, doesn't know you're in there. The Nocturne's going to start topside. So we're going to have a bit of different jungle pathings coming from the Vi and the Nocturne. I don't think they'll be meeting at the same scuttle. They might trade scuttles across the map. Typically, that's what
I
happens.
think Nocturne, if he sees a Vi as Scuttle, he'll just have to give it.
Yeah, early
But depending on-
dueling. Early dueling, depending on the level and what goes on, it will be interesting to see that. Now, I hate to talk about skins because that has nothing to do with analysis, but I love that Scion skin. It's one of my favorites.
I couldn't tell which one it was. Is it his World
It's
Breaker
the
skin?
Aztec one. Well,
Oh,
I think it's not Aztec. A World Breaker. Yes, you are right. It reminds me of an Aztec culture. So
I'm just the greatest of all time.
just the greatest. We're already seeing some poke coming out mid lane. They're not even going to worry about farming. Actually, Syndra did get the entire wave. Oh wow, this Syndra is
There's a
really
lot of
poking.
damage. Electrocute just able to absolutely delete that. Lots of all HP, having to use a potion.
Yeah, I tend to agree there. I I know that I said top lane would be volatile early, but oh wow, this is really aggressive to level 2 and he
Oh,
lands
that's
the
gonna be the Flash, gonna be able to land that hook, and Morgana falls down
that
before you
is
could level up the
such
E.
an early first blood, such an early first blood. You'd love to see it coming from the Pennsylvania Tempest.
That was just a Blossom was able to do so much and take down that Morgana.
Oh boy. I Pennsylvania with the early aggression, that hook was so clean. That flash, that flay, the hook. Oh, I thought he was going to die to a jungle camp there. We were all about to type F in chat for him, but a gank is coming and the flash into the pushback. Sorry, I'm taking your play-by-play job. I didn't mean to.
No, I took your analysis job last time.
We're taking turns stealing each other's jobs.
It's going back and forth. Plus, I don't know what I was doing. I was taking a drink of water.
See, I was covering for you so you could get some hydration because us casters need our hydration. Our vocal cords are.
Yeah,
We might
they're
need people to
precious.
type F and people need to type F in chat for our vocal cords. I think I'm not sure.
Especially after 8 hour stream, and then they decide not to end the game, and you have to sit and watch and wait for them to
Yeah,
go to
exactly,
Baron, even though they took down 4 inhibitors.
exactly. We we do see the cleanse coming out again from the Jin. I like the cleanse against a Thresh Senna. Um, I I mean, if I'm wrong, does the cleanse get you out of the Nocturne fear?
Yes.
Am I incorrect in that notion? Oh, it does.
No.
Okay.
It does take you out of the Nocturne
D-
Fear.
Okay, that is what I thought. So
Syndra is out of mana, and they're both out of potions. So the mid lane is very much in Lux's favor right now. Nocturne is possibly looking for a gank mid, but I don't see it happening honestly. Like, because Syndra just be an auto attack based champion at that point.
yeah,
And Lux, if Lux can do this right, can just absolutely land entire wombo combo onto there.
good bind there, but nothing doing from it. Yeah, I think Lux should be able to take over because she's poking quite a bit, but she's still down in farm. She's down about 8 farm. Hopefully she can get the Syndra to back and close that farm gap a little bit. Here comes the stun, and I think we are going to see the hook here.
Ooh,
Oh,
does manage to mix a binding shot using Senna, able to get away. That's going to be the final auto attack. Special saving it for us, and Senna does manage to get out of the way.
that was so clean
That-
coming in from this
that-
bot lane.
This
They
Thresh
are
is
going to
doing
walk
so
into
well.
this buy.
Looks like
That was
that.
all.
Ooh, the heal coming off from the Senna does keep Thresh alive. Stunned and does locked in by the death sentence. Gonna be the big knockup, but
Oh,
never mind, not alive. Jin does manage to flash onto the center, landing that auto Q, and then nothing you can do from there. Looks like that is just managed to land the spell shield.
he did indeed, and this is really sort of turned into a bloodbath. I mean, it's about 6 minutes in. We're gonna get a plate up top, early plate from the Scion. He has a 10 gold lead, a plate lead, and this Ornn's gonna lose the cannon minion here.
Yeah, no, and
Wow.
Thresh is just doing so well. Like, I am very impressed
Smurfing.
by this Thresh. Smurfing, yes.
He's smurfing on his diamond account. I believe their Thresh is the diamond one. Yeah, he's impressing me very much so. They did get that kill on the Senna. I do appreciate the counter jungling coming in from, or the counter not counter jungling rather, but just a good gank in general. Oh, here comes the stun.
Do see a Q landing his mark onto there, and Scion does get it down there. Managed to land the kill, but the root does pop off. Oh, and Device right over there, able to get the return kill onto Scion. He's trying to. They do manage to get that tower gold, all
yep,
to the Syndra with just one auto attack.
I obviously think that Pennsylvania came out ahead on that one. They got the tower plate and the kill, but I'll commend this Vi. This Vi is everywhere she needs to be in this early game. Definitely making an impact. Already has 2 out of the 2 KP for the team, helping out bot lane and mid lane there.
100% KP, always a good thing.
Hun-
Except if you're 100% KP on the enemy team.
Yes, exactly. This Scion does seem to be pushing this Ornn off the wave. The Ornn is pushed up a little bit too far with. He does have a ward in that bush, but I don't think he wants to take the risk. This bot lane is actually closer than I thought. Though the
Jin
Tempest
getting
team
that
is
early kill.
Yeah,
Jin getting that
he
early
got the
kill was just so
kill.
big.
He's up by a few farm. Here comes
Doesn't-
the hook. Oh, nice cleanse.
Doesn't go in for it, and the cleanse does release the hook from him.
The Morgana should have preemptively used the black shield there. No flame to her. It's hard to predict that stuff.
Honestly,
But
I like him using cleanse first.
because you think Thresh would go in anyway.
Yeah, and then just fly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
because
and I
of the
agree.
cleanse,
I
that
agree with that.
canceled. Yeah, but because of the cleanse, he couldn't go in because that cleanse also releases his hook from him.
Yeah, that is very true. Game has slowed down here a little bit, which is nice because which is nice for the analysts, but I see that oh wow, still poking in the
Syndra
mid lane.
just be
That
able to do half the
electric
damage.
Oh
And
my god.
yeah, no, that's Syndra for you. Still such a strong
I
champion.
cast
Electric.
a
It
I
seems
was
like
just saying I
electric is
cast
doing
a
more
curse
damage.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
no,
seems
the
like Electric has been doing more damage in the games I've been watching than it does in when I'm in game and using Electrocute. Might be just
That's
me.
always how it is. It's better for the enemy too. Like the enemy has electrocute, does triple my electrocute's damage. That's just how it goes. They're
Yeah,
gonna take an early dragon here.
yeah, and that's just with the kill in mid lane. That's just gonna be so free for Nocturne and his
Yeah.
team, Pennsylvania.
Oh wow, a gank coming up here. I like this Vi's
Stu,
proactiveness.
you see the brittle
Oh,
coming off.
that was
Oh,
a
what
bit
were
of a
you
bold
doing,
call.
Vi? That was
Maybe
kind of
he
troll.
maybe Vi didn't know the interaction with the unstoppable ult of Scion. I can't
It's
flame her for that.
possible. It's possible that Vi thought, hey, maybe I'll follow him.
Yeah, exactly. It's
But
possible.
even then, he can just bring you all the way back to base.
Mm-hmm.
And then what do you do?
Very true. That was a good route coming in from this Jin to possibly save Morgana's life, or at least stop them from doing a decent amount of damage. This Thresh is throwing hooks from every angle. No,
Yeah, no, he is doing really well. And like Senna's controlling the wave really well as well. Thresh is just always in a good position to try and land a good hook.
yeah, exactly. We do obviously see the double loss chapter from the mid lane. We see the tier completed for this Senna, so she's going to start stacking that. Oh wow, we have a fight going on here.
Looks like we do see gonna pop up.
Ooh.
Ooh, Scion does manage to flash away out of that. Brittle does pop off right before the Q lands to knock him out of place.
And I'm glad we're seeing some action up top, because I assume it's going to be a wet noodle fight anytime after 1 or 2 item is completed. And the mana immune does come through for Senna. First completed item in the game if you don't count the jungle items. I usually don't because they're so cheap. But yep, we are seeing the mana immune done. It looks like she sold one of her Doran's blades to get it though. So that is a bit of wasted money there, but there's nothing wrong with that.
I
Oh.
hate how cheap Manamune is.
It is cheap too. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should put it in the same category as jungle items.
Yeah, I
It's
count
too cheap.
Lost Chapter as a completed item before I count Manamune.
So unfair to mages. I'm just kidding. But
Do we
yo,
see a
this
root
Lux,
and a stun? Both of the CC at the same
this
time in the mid
Lux
lane.
is getting
Ooh, we do see the ult, but the barrier
the
does save the life.
barrier.
Fly
Oh,
for a
and
barrier and
Syndrome.
ult, I would take that any day of the week. A lollipop hook barely lands onto that Jin. Thresh decides not to complete the death sentence and just leaves the Jin be. Like, hey, recognize my threat.
Jin says, "I'm the sheriff in town. You're not taking that hook." Gives him the stare down, and Thresh is like, "You're right. I'm just gonna stay here."
I just vibe.
Now, yep, exactly. We
They
are
do
seeing a
take the
bit
red
of
buff.
an invade. It did
They are
take the
gonna
red. I like that invade.
might try and
Syndra
tower
was
dive
doing
here.
nothing else in the mid lane.
Nocturne has ult. Let's see what they do here.
Nocturne does
Syndra
have
did back
ult.
to base. Orange is waiting because
I think he's waiting.
he was
No,
waiting
I
for
was
the
gonna say
Q.
he's probably waiting.
He dodged the
Yeah.
Q from the
Okay. Yeah.
Scion, and then he just walked out of there.
Yeah. That he did. Now he's buying an item quickly. He
And that is
just
the
bought.
Sunfire cape.
Yep. Sunfire. We have Sunfire against Sunfire, so that does make tanks do quite a bit of damage. You can't scoff at it, but I don't know how
No,
much damage they'll be doing to each other with it.
really such a strong item.
It really
Really,
is.
truly.
Funny that we're seeing. I mean, we're seeing mirror. Oh, here goes a fight.
Looks like we have Call the Horn popping up, Call the Forge, and then it's another Brittle proc coming off, but Orin doesn't have any mana. Barely knocking up there and stunned from
Oh,
what? Looks like we do see Nocturne. The stopwatch
oh,
does cancel the fear, but that's gonna be you're dead.
oh. That was a good play coming through from all the Pennsylvania Tempest members, and there's a fight here too.
Looks
I
like
don't.
we see Morgana and Vi in the back lane. Vi does manage to do so much damage to that Senna. Are they gonna be able to take down the Thresh? Do manage to hook,
Ooh,
landing right into back to Scion, and then Vi just trying dashing away. Does
nice
not get it, and
shield.
that's gonna be the fear. Scion does manage to take down the Vi, and Sion's gonna get a double kill with the Jhin, and also takes down the Morgana. Syndra takes down Morgana.
That was such a good spell shield coming in from the Nocturne to stop the bind. The Syndra comes down, everybody comes down. It's a team effort. They just took a very commanding lead. They're gonna get a dragon out of this. I'd be
Second
shaking in
dragon.
my boots. Second dragon. I'd be shaking in my boots a little bit if I were Georgia. They might need to come up with a bit of a new strategy.
Yeah, no, it is not looking the best right now. Sion has 3 kills and Ornn has 0 deaths. If this was my friend, he would be flaming his entire team.
That's true. You know what? You know what's kind of aesthetically pleasing? If you look at the top, the mid, and the jungle, they're all mirroring each other in items so far. I mean, at least they're trying to. I'm not sure if this Nocturne's gonna go the Black Cleaver route that Vi's going. In fact, Vi could be going Triforce rather than Black Cleaver. I guess I don't know quite yet, but we'll have to see
You'll
when the
just see
time comes.
we'll just see a lethality item coming off from the Nocturne, gonna be able to just kill the Lux. Lux is not having a fun time in this mid lane. Does manage to land a Q, and there's
Ooh.
an ult, and there's gonna be the big shutdown for the Vi. Thresh was there, not being able to save the Syndra with his lantern.
I gotta give this Vi some props. She's where she needs to be. Though her team is behind, she might be the key into coming back into this game. She might even want to go to the Triforce instead of the Black Cleaver. As much as I dislike full damage Vi's, she might be the key to winning this game. I'm not quite sure yet.
See the
Along with
knockdown.
This Ornn.
This
Ooh,
Ornn's just gonna be
okay,
carrying.
just a,
I'm still trying to figure out what Vi will do with and what Ornn item Vi can work with, because I can't think of them
well,
all off the top of my head.
Triforce technically. If she builds a Triforce, technically
Is
that's
that
one
an
of
Ornn
them.
item?
But yes, I believe it is. Here goes a fight.
Looks like Nocturne is gonna be popping all.
Just a kill.
Yeah, the easy kill for against the Lux. She's not
Ooh,
having a fun time, and that is a big shutdown for Nocturne on the Vi.
I love to see cross map plays like that. Usually, I tell Scions when they're learning the game, vertical alts only. Don't do any of this into lane from the side. But when you're as skilled as this Pennsylvania Tempest team, you can do whatever you want. You can do it diagonally, horizontally. I just think they're starting to take the game over here, and they might
Oh
even
yeah,
get
there is a Dragon
another
VP.
tower
Huh.
here. You
Well, with
know
Black
what? This
Cleaver
is
and
actually
Triforce.
Pennsylvania's for. Oh, okay. So it's both. Okay, both of them.
But she is
But
building a
it does look
Triforce.
like we're seeing the Triforce. Yes, I'm surprised she didn't go the Sheen. She went the Stinger first. That's probably for possibly jungle clear. But when those Ornn items come through, it is going to be a very big deal. I just noticed that the Georgia team is actually winning in towers right now, and the gold lead is not that astounding. So
It
props
really
to
isn't.
Georgia for
And
yeah, big props. Ooh,
Lux is just Lux just been having a rough time mid lane, and Syndra just
ooh, flash.
flashed Syndra.
I don't know if that was a necessary flash. Maybe it was. Maybe there's something that I didn't see,
I didn't
but
think so
not
because she
sure.
didn't flash from anything. I'm pretty sure maybe a Jin W, but then like her her Thresh was right there to take the lantern.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't know what. Maybe it was just a panic
That's gonna
flash.
be
And
the Vi
oh,
gonna be
this is
able to
going to
use
be
the
huge.
assault and battery, but does not be
Oh,
able to take down the Vi, barely living it alive. That
I
is
think Lux backed
really
off way
disappointing.
too early there.
I mean,
I
Lux
might
is
be
trying to
wrong,
do
but I think
everything from
Lux
max range. Lux is
true.
trying to do
And
everything from max range.
if she steps too
Nocturne.
far up, she's dead, and I understand that. But
Yeah, no, Lux is just
yeah,
playing really far back. And she did do her um Q then E then alt combo and locking down Syndra, taking her down so much health. And then Vi comes in with a Q and then assault and
so
battery
none
or
of her
alt.
cool. So none
Yeah,
of her cooldowns were up, so I understand her keeping her distance.
her shield.
Um,
And she used it.
yeah, very true. I think we are seeing the Black Cleaver coming out from Senna, so maybe we will see a little bit of a bruiser build, but I don't suspect we'll
Man,
see the frozen mallet.
I did think that we would see the Black Cleaver and Manamune. I It's just like Manamune, just like they have to build Manamune or they're trolling, so that's why I didn't say anything about it because I
Yeah,
thought it was just like gonna be there because most Sennas nowadays build Manamune.
of course, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
we might see a bruiser build. If she is going the bruiser route, I would expect to see a Edge of Night build at some point. Or she might just go Duskblade. We'll have to see what she does here. This might just be a free dragon. I don't know. Are they gonna contest this right now? Maybe with the
I don't know if
Luxalt.
they
They do have a
can.
Luxalt.
They do have that Luxalt, the final spark. We do have 5v5, the first 5v5 of the game. Let's see what happens here. Vi does go in on the Scion. They're
Lux
taking
has to
all the
ult
damage
it
they could out
now.
of the
Lux has to
Scion.
ult it now.
They took the Dragon. Senna's final Dawn does pop off. They're doing a lot of damage onto the Thresh. Thresh does take a kill. Vi
Ooh,
Jin does be able to do a 4th shot right onto the knocker. He's reloading. Does manage to walk away from there. And Ornn, he is somehow more than half health alive in the middle of 4 people. Syndra is chasing after that Jin, but Jin manages to get away, and they're just going to take the Scion kill. He's trying to do as much as he can, but he's just gone out of there. A Blossom, the Thresh, the support is on a killing spree.
and we talked about how neither team had much of a tank buster. You don't need a tank buster if you got to sit alone with the tank for a good 30 seconds. You can just whittle him down. They're taking a humongous lead here. They got the dragon, they got the tower. I wonder what else they're going to try to get here. They might as well try to set up around Baron. I know it's an early Baron. I know it just turned 20 minutes into the game. They are so ahead. I actually think they can do it.
It's possible. I just need to. No, I think they can do it. It'll be close, and Vi could attempt to steal it.
Yeah. So maybe
They just need to. If they get Vi out either by a pick or a fight, they go Baron.
Yeah, so maybe they play slow and methodically for now, keep farming up. I do want to see this Scion complete his Titanic Hydra. Scion with Titanic Hydra is so strong due to his passive. I don't know if people know, but he keeps the Titanic Hydra passive into his passive as well. I'm gonna look to have them complete some of those core items. This Thresh is smurfing. Looks like a fight starting.
Yeah, Thresh is just he's finding his mark onto that Ornn. There's going to be the fear popping off against Ornn, but he's still going to be able to walk out with half health.
Oh,
We do see a suicide TP coming in from the. Oh, maybe not.
no.
It looks like Syndra's able to land a 3-man stun. Does able to take down with a ball of death, and then an ult coming in. Thresh. Oh, you are smurfing, my man. Lands that
That's
ward.
game.
Sees that Morgana. Goes in with that Q. This
I
Thresh
think that's
is
game.
absolutely insane. Syndra's insane. Pennsylvania is insane.
They're insane. There's a reason why I put them in my top 5 power rankings. I put them up there for a reason. I want to see them face some of the top teams here. Lux is making a valiant effort. They might back off here. She might have just done it there by taking out the wave.
She had to ult the wave. Got it clear.
So I
And-
apologize to the audience when we were hyping up the end of the game.
I mean,
like
I
they
didn't-
are going to back
I didn't say anything.
off. Okay, I apologize that I was hyping up the end of the game.
I did say suicide TP, but it turns out that was not a suicide TP. That was the gamer TP because
Yeah.
the Syndra just Syndra absolutely. Syndra
I'm telling
absolutely
you,
just does so much.
we've been caster cursing all day. Everything we say, it's just the opposite happens, which is
Yeah.
fine because I would like to see either of these teams win. I enjoy watching both teams play. This Pennsylvania team is coming out of nowhere. The Syndra's 7-1-7. The bot lane together is 5-2 and 13. Obviously, jungle and top have insane score lines. Can't say enough about them. This really up to this Vi and this Jin to try and carry the game from here on out. It looks like
Yeah, no,
for the Georgia side. Oh no!
Is that's a dead Jin?
Oh.
Holy crap!
No.
Oh, that. Yeah, Syndra
It's-
is a good champion. That was
Oh,
really.
and she's
You were dead too, because You didn't see them, and how did? Oh no, they're ambushing. So
Well,
dumb.
it's talk about the vision game here because that is main. I think that's what Pennsylvania has in spades. They are
Oh
just
yeah, they got
winning the
so much
vision game.
vision control
A
all
play.
throughout their map. A
Oh,
big shutdown for the Lux, deleting half a Senate's health. That's gonna be a big knock up under the Thresh, but he's got the box and he's got his stopwatch. He's like, "You're not running away from me." Syndra is here. Syndra is proud. Looks like we have a charge
ooh.
right out of that. Thresh is looking to try and capitalize some more off it, but Orange just gonna back off here. If Syndra just didn't have her Q up there. If Syndra did, that would have been so much cleaner.
Yeah, and that is very true. I think that was a good shutdown for the Georgia team. They're going to need a lot more shutdowns like that, but they might be running out of time because this is Dragon Soul, and Vi's going to have to
Oh
go in
my
for the
god, it
steal. He needs to go.
is
He might have to go in on this Thresh
Thresh
now,
is
but he
smurfing.
can't. 'Cause Syndra's there. Thresh is still smurfing as we see. Oh,
That's
if
it.
they get
That's their
this
dragon. They
Dragon
got the
Soul,
dragon.
no, and that's going to be a
Oh,
kill.
Vi tried to flash to try and go over it. Lux tried to
Oh,
steal it, but Syndra did manage to click the kill button onto the Vi. Final Dawn coming in, able to do so much damage. That's going to be the hook onto you with Infernal Soul. Does manage to land the binding, but does not find a kill for the Lux. Ornn,
and they call that the oh,
Ornn is sitting
they
on a
call
turret.
that
He is
the
surrounded by
outplay
5 people.
button.
The outplay button. Ah, yes.
On Syndra, you miss all your skill shots. Not saying that this Syndra missed anything, but you miss all your skill shots and then you just press R. This is going to be another kill.
It's so many kills.
Some bloody games today. This one is a bit more one-sided than the last one. However, you got to commend Georgia for hanging in there. They have not let them end yet. This game might even go past 30 minutes, which you have to commend Georgia on. Not see that coming.
Yeah, no.
At least in this one.
This game, it's actually so it's not as detrimental as you think. There's a only 7K gold difference. At this point, I would think like it's a 15K gold difference or something like that because of how many people are fed as hell. Got a 4-1 Scion, 6-1 Nocturne. It's just so much, and they're moving as a team. They're just constantly giving KP to each other.
Nice
Barely
Lux.
out of range of that
Oh,
for Nocturne does use his Dawn to come in. Big shutdown
ooh.
for the Vi, taking a lot of damage from the Electrocute and the Syndra though. Syndra is going to be able to
They all,
press the kill button. That's such a strong outplay onto that Morgana, and does manage to land this. You are just perma CC'd or has to dodge away out of that by using his E. And Pennsylvania just has complete control of this map. Even in their base, they have some control there. It is just
and the Ornn
insane.
items, the Ornn items are coming through far too late. He hasn't even upgraded his second Ornn item. He's already given the Ornn item to Lux because of how behind he's been. This is just spelling disaster for the Georgia lineup.
So here's the thing: when Ornn upgrades in his level 13, he just upgrades 2 items at once. So he'll get his item when he gets
That
it,
that's
but he
good.
just hasn't got an item yet.
Yeah,
He's
and
only stuck on 1 item.
that's
Big
1,000 gold for this Vi.
styles to go for the Vi. Vi is gonna try and take as many kills as they can, but Ornn just walked up too far on too little health. Looks like Scion is looking a bit there. Lux thought she could do damage with the W, trying to do damage to the shield. You can't do damage.
So maybe the Syndra was getting a little bit too cocky stepping up there, but you can't really fault
I
this
mean, you were
Pennsylvania line.
11 and you were 11, 1 and 13 before
And
you
then
died. I would have been
Vi
cocky too.
says, Vi
Vi
says,
says a
hold my
lot of
beer.
damage. Vi does shut down the center. We do see a fear coming off. Nocturne
Oh,
coming out of left field.
oh,
Vi actually ends up dodging the Nocturne fear. A fear coming off. Permanent CC thanks to the Thresh being death sentence and flayed backwards. Vi is out of there. We see Jin final credit coming off. Thresh is going to be left alone, taking that last 4th final shot after Sion has an ult out of there on barely enough mana.
that's basically the best that Georgia could have hoped for. I know it didn't turn out amazing for them, but you got to get the shutdowns you can get, and they're going to get some items off this. Hopefully, Ornn can finally complete that Abyssal Mask. It looks like Scion's about to get his Gargoyle Stoneplate, which will make him almost unkillable.
I mean, all I'm saying is Thresh hasn't died.
Yeah, no, this Thresh is just smurfing. That's quite
He is
obvious.
insane.
It seems like the whole team is just doing very, very well. Hopefully we're gonna see some well-timed black shields to help, but I don't know what this Georgia roster can do right now to stop the onslaught.
I don't know either. The difference is still 7K, and Vi has 100% KP still,
You
and they're
you
just trying to funnel as much as they can into Vi and Jin. If they can get this game where gold difference doesn't matter, like let's say, Syndra's full build, there's nothing you can do there, but then you see a Jin that's full build too, 100% crit, going fast as hell.
Yeah, no,
That's
and
insane.
that's very true. I wonder if we're going to see the Sterix coming out of this Vi. I think that's what she's building with that Jarm's Fist. We have sort of a wet noodle fight here, but not so wet noodle because
No,
Scion does a
Scion.
lot of damage.
Scion's doing a lot of damage. Is he gonna have to ult out of there again? Looks like
Vi,
he does ult out of
oh,
there.
he does ult out. Oh
That's
no!
that's just your. I'm sorry. Scion Scion ulted out, but now he's teleporting back in.
That was a
And they're
huge mistake to show their tank and their carry top lane. I assume Vi is their carry at this point. It was a huge
yeah,
mistake to show both of those top lane right there.
and unless Vi gets a 1v5 penta,
Oh no,
doesn't look
no.
like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that looks to be the game.
From Fountain.
Pennsylvania Tempest moves on to the next round, and I might have to move them up in my power rankings after watching this. But I want to see them face some of the top 3 teams that I talked about earlier, being Iowa, Minnesota, and
I
North
definitely
Carolina.
want to see them face Iowa or Minnesota, even for that matter.
North Carolina, one of those teams. Maryland too. Maryland has a very good
Maryland's pretty
roster.
strong. Yeah.
I want to see some of these strong teams face off against each other. It's going to be a pleasure watching these guys move up into the bracket.
Okay, so I got a question for you.
Go for it.
Who of the 2 games you watched, who was the MVP of both games? And chat can also answer this too.
Get some observer stuff in here. It's gonna be hard to go against that Thresh, right? That Thresh was insane. It's gonna be hard to go against that Syndra. I do also have to look at last game. Let's see here, which was Maine versus Virginia. Boy, Virginia had some good. Here's why it's hard to give an MVP to the Virginia team. I want to give it to that Singed. That Singed did amazing on Wheezy, but
Mhm.
Virginia worked so well as a team. It's difficult to say, oh, this was the MVP. This was the person who carried. It's like I don't think anybody carried Virginia. I think Virginia went off as a team. They had such cohesion. I think that if I were to give the MVP for both games, like you're asking me, I would give it to the Thresh. But no disrespect to anybody on this Pennsylvania team, they all did amazing.
Yeah, no. Everyone in this Pennsylvania team did amazing, and just game 1 was just so well thought as a team. And honestly, I have good hopes for Pennsylvania. Very sorry to Georgia that you had to face against like what Mikey says is one of the top 10 teams in the league.
Yeah.
In the league. That's
Would
just
you agree with Thresh? 5 minutes? Okay. Would you agree with me that Thresh was the MVP then of this game?
100%. That Thresh, I would not stop talking about it. I was so impressed with his laning. I was so impressed with his late game. He was just so good at
But look at the
being
Syndra
Thresh.
damage. Obviously, I said Syndra would be my second MVP for that game, and now you can see why. Lux did very commendable damage. I think a lot of that came from poking in lane. It tried her best. There's nothing you can really do there.
So looking at chat real quick, someone says to tell your wife hello for them.
Yeah. Oh, she's my
Uh,
fiance.
and then
She came and kissed me in the middle of the
Firebeard,
cast.
Firebeard for the ADC from game 1. believe it was Ash, is saying like behind the scenes, Rammus should get MVP of game 1
Oh,
because
that
he
Rammus.
just
I was gonna actually say that
yeah.
Rammus went off. He at the point he was 5-1-5, he was already unkillable at that point.
Yeah,
So yeah, I
and
mean,
apparently he was like doing a lot of picks and shot calling, and he was just he was like being he was the captain, and I
yeah,
just
it
generally
says in
support
chat
that.
that he took the yeah, it says in chat that he took the lead there. It's just wow, just amazing things from both teams. I'm excited to see Virginia move on. I'm excited to see Pennsylvania Tempest move on. Um, would you, in your opinion, put Virginia in your top 10 after that first game?
Virginia, I think, did really well. Um, I I just have to see. Honestly, I think they really did. English, I do not speak it. I think Virginia is
Hey,
definitely like I would say like
you
I
don't
think
think top
it's
10 yet?
I think definitely top 15, but like
Okay,
borderline top 10. I have to. This is only the second game it's the first game
yeah.
I saw then, and then this is my second game that I saw from the teams. I'll just have to see how each player performs. People can have like a really good role, but how they play on a team is very different from how they play in solo duo.
And I've been watching these teams scrim. I've been looking at their ranks, so that's the only reason I have a power ranking made up. But I would definitely agree. I'd put Virginia in at least the top 15 after that game. That was a
Yeah,
very good game. That Rammus went off. That I mean, everyone on the team went off. It's so hard to assign a carry to any game. Even this last game we just saw with Pennsylvania, hard to assign a carry when the whole team is going off like they did. Uh, it that's why I think in the LCS they have such a hard time giving people MVPs because it's like
they need to rely chat
in the
to see
proverbial
what they
locker
perform.
room, the esports locker room or the chats, you know that everyone has such a huge part in the game, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was very fun to watch. All
All right.
right. You want to take it
So
away, Drew, or do you want me to?
I got you opened. I got this.
You got it.
All right. Thank you all for watching these first 2 games. It was really fun being your casters. We're gonna swap out for 2 new casters. I can take a look at who they are. But tonight we will be signing off. Ponstar Ninja and Yanni will be your casters for the next game. Uh, look forward to seeing you guys again.
So long.